Let's wrap up Section 2.1, where we discuss sampling methods and bias. Here are the key ideas to get from this activity. Bias will ruin a study. It is the one thing in this course that cannot be improved with a larger sample size. Why? Because bias is not about the sample itself. It is describing the process used to collect the sample. Is it possible to use a biased sampling method and still get a representative sample? Yes, but it is unlikely to happen, and as a researcher you would have to show your sample is representative of the population by comparing your statistic to the parameter. But you took a sample because you don't know the parameter, so that seems extremely difficult to do. Random sampling tends to produce samples that are representative of the population. This is what we want. We hope to learn about the population, but we are too poor, tired, time-constrained, whatever, to actually gather a census. Sampling is how the real world works. We take a sample and use it to find out information about a population. But that logic is only valid if the sample is similar to our population. Random sampling gives us that similarity on average. Is every random sample perfect? No. We'll discuss this in Section 2.3. But on average, random samples are representative of the population on all characteristics. When we have used an unbiased sampling method, we are able to generalize our results, meaning the results from our study can be applied to the entire population. Really, this is the whole point of research, so make sure you are using an unbiased sampling method before you begin collecting data. Only the sampling method, and not the sample size, determines whether we can generalize our results or not. And finally, sample size reduces sampling variability. We see this in Section 1.4, and here it is again. This is a big, important idea. Larger samples will have statistics that are more similar from one sample to another. It does not affect the standard deviation of an individual sample, but rather the standard deviation of the statistics from many different samples.